Today, we're getting under the hood of perimenopause with Maria, a women's advocate and the founder of For Women's Health. How old were you when your perimenopause began?
I think I was 40. I started having symptoms like on and off, but because I wasn't aware of what perimenopause or anything, I just thought it was like a hormonal imbalance. And I think it was 40 when I started.
What has your perimenopause journey been like?
Oh, it's been long and it's been, hmm, actually, it hasn't been, once I identify everything, it's not bad. Because everything has a negative and a positive in life. So for me, having that hormonal imbalance in my 30s, it was terrible. It was awful. But thanks to that, I learned a lot about hormones. So I was able to identify better what was happening to me, and I was able to advocate for myself. So if I went to someone that didn't know, I will look for another one. And by then, I had the education and the tools to know how to look and how to search and how to evaluate the health provider. So once I established all of that, that was on the first few years, then it's been very easy because I have been taking supplements for a long time. I was aware of eating well, exercising, and all of these things. So the only thing that I'm still trying to manage is stress because between the time in life that I am and building a startup, which is the most stressful thing that I ever done in my life, is not a good combo. But in everything else, it's been good having passed the first few years.
What were some unexpected symptoms or experiences you've encountered during your perimenopause?
I have no idea what perimenopause would be or what symptoms I would experience, but I recall that I was having issues sleeping, something that I never had in my life. I had brain fog, difficulty concentrating, a lower libido, waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom every night, difficulty losing weight, and changes also in my hair, like the texture, and but that was fluctuating because it will depend how the hormones were up or down. So those were the ones that I recall.
How did this make you feel?
Different in different levels. So I was confused and I felt ignored and dismissed because I was very aware of my body and I was seeing the changes and nobody was helping me with those. But emotionally, I was more unstable, which made me feel bad because I didn't understand what was happening. Mentally, I had trouble like concentrating. My brain was not as sharp as normally would be. And it was very difficult because it was almost impossible to find education and information. You really need to research and you need to know where to research. And even when you did, it was limited, the information. Like even perimenopause as a word, I haven't heard it until the last 5 years, I think. So it was not great, that's for sure.
How did you navigate the emotional changes and mood swings associated with perimenopause?
Well, I had a hormonal imbalance in my 30s. So by then, I was already aware on how hormones affected my body. So I was following good doctors, but information was still limited. So I was taking supplements that really helped me. So once you know how the hormones affect you, it helps you to know how to navigate those and what you need to take to help. So I knew yoga was extremely helpful for me when I was going through high stress. And that was the thing that was better than anything else for me. And then I was taking supplements like vitamin D3, magnesium, and omega 3s. And I think that was something that really helped with my mood swings and emotional changes. I also did therapy, of course, because, we didn't know so much about perimenopause, but, that's always useful.
How did you approach discussing perimenopause with your healthcare provider?
When that happened, when I started, the word perimenopause didn't even exist or was not really common. Nobody put a name on it. But I already had some knowledge of hormones. So when I went to my OBGYN, I was telling her, like, this is happening to me, and I know hormones. And she told me straight that she had no knowledge of menopause. She know nothing about it. So that was unsettling.
Did you encounter any misconceptions about perimenopause from others, and how did you address them?
Oh my God, the list is very long here. So I have many friends telling me that their gynecologists told them that they were not in perimenopause because they did a lab test and their hormones were normal. By the way, none of them were done between day two or five. And clearly, that doctor didn't know that in perimenopause, your hormones go like this. So 1 month you could be great, and the next one you could be on the floor. So that's one. The other one is like the all the different symptoms. Like among all my friends, everyone was having different symptoms. So the frozen shoulder, the one with the tinnitus, the noise in the ring in the ear, or the night sweats, all the anxiety, even depression for some. They all refused to believe that it was anything to do with hormones, because if they were to a psychologist or a psychiatrist, they didn't even mention it. So I was the pain, for all of my girlfriends when they were telling me all of this, that I was explaining them. It's like, but this is perimenopause. And they were saying, no, I'm not there. It's like, that's a fact. If you are 45, you are, that's 45 to 50, you are in perimenopause because it's the 10 years before. Accepting it or not is a different thing, but that's a fact, unless your mom had her menopause when she was 60, you know. So, yeah, it was, but it was even with the gynecologists, actually, in some cases that I talked to, that they didn't have much knowledge. So it will be an argument or a discussion with them about it, that they didn't identify all of those symptoms. And I remember one a gynecologist that she was very honest and she said that she didn't know. When she knew that I was building this company, she was asking me, and I will send her information. So at least it was someone that she really wanted to know and help people.
What resources or support networks did you find helpful during your perimenopausal journey?
It was Instagram mainly. There are a number of doctors that I already identify with their knowledge, and I follow them. It's the Dr. Mary Claire Haver, Sarah Godfrey, Kelly Casperson, and a few others. And then also, I had a friend that recommended me an OBGYN in Spain, because at that point I was not fully living in the US. And she's amazing. She's a specialist in breast cancer. And that's how she started to learn how to treat menopause and perimenopause, because she was trying to help the women that will go into menopause straight due to cancer. And she was researching how could she help them, because she was seeing how those symptoms were really affecting their lives beyond the cancer. So it was her own curiosity and her own drive to treat better um, the women that she was treated. Dr. Maria Jose Barrera, she's in Madrid, but she's absolutely amazing. And I have spoken with a few other doctors in the US, which are same level. They're amazing. But the hard thing is to find one.
What changes, if any, did you make to your diet, exercise, or self-care routine to manage your perimenopausal symptoms?
Oh, I mean, completely. I always ate healthy, but I was not aware that I was lactose and gluten intolerant. So that's something that I know is very important for me to avoid. And I cannot always do it, but I try to. And I focus in exercising a lot. And that has helped me, but especially the yoga. When I had my hormonal imbalance that I didn't know what to do. Nobody was helping me. I was in my mid 30s. I remember that one day that I was extremely unstable and I went to a yoga restorative class, which is basically lying down with different prompts for 5 minutes every asana. And when I left that class, I was a completely different person. So I realized the huge impact that yoga can have in my stress levels and my mental well being. And I see a huge difference for me. Every person is different, but for me, yoga is the most important thing. I can exercise whatever, but for example, for even for weight management, for me the problem is stress. So if I do yoga, my weight is very easy to manage, or if I need to lose something easy to, if I don't do yoga, not easy at all, even if possible. So yeah, exercise and having a tribe. Like when they say that misery loves company, is actually true, especially for women. So having other women that go through the same than you and that you can talk openly is amazing.
Were there any positive or empowering aspects of your perimenopause journey that surprised you?
Um, well, one that when your grandma tells you, but you don't really believe it or see it, that with age you become more comfortable with who you are and in your own skin. You care less what other people think or say. So you feel more free, actually. And then that also knowledge is power and peace of mind. So once I understood how my body was functioning and how each hormone was affecting me, I knew how to manage that way better. So the thing with me is that I started taking supplements in my mid 30s. So I did a lot of prevention. And for example, I have many no, actually, all my girlfriends need glasses right now. And I don't. I still have a 20/20 sight. So prevention is the key.
What top 5 tips would you give to other women?
First and most important, get a health provider with knowledge in perimenopause and menopause. That's extremely important. But someone not not only that they will prescribe you HRT or not, someone that will first take your case because each of us are different. So someone that will study, for example, in my case, mine did a very extensive blood test to study my capacity to detox on a very specific level. So now I know that I do need detox support. In my case, the hormones that I not use, they will get stuck unless I do something about it. So I take my detox supplements every X months to support my body. Then what you eat and what you drink matters a lot for anxiety, for weight, for strength, for everything. You need to eat a lot of protein. And I know everyone says that, but there is a reason for that. I knew a woman that she was exercising a lot, but she didn't have any muscle until she got a nutritionist and explained her, it's like, yes, you're doing the work, but you're not giving the fuel to your body to convert all that exercise in muscle. You need protein. That's what protein is for. So knowing what we need to eat to not just eat, but to get nutrients in our body, the right ones, is very important. Exercise, so not yoga, strength training, extremely important, but you also need to do some aerobic to keep your heart healthy. And social life, very important. There are many studies showing how important it is, especially for women, to have a social life with our girlfriends. And when they talk about the blue zones, this is one of the key things, having a community. So it's very important, but for women, they said this thing that for women to live a long life, they need girlfriends, and for men, they need a wife. So that's something that is being studied actually, because between us we can bend, we can support each other, we can laugh, we can cry, and that is very good for our health and our telomeres as well. And I mean, and live your life. We are in the middle, or hopefully below the middle of our life. So stop caring what other people think and start living your life, what you want to do, and enjoy it.